We're in July, which means college football has now officially changed for the most part. By the time we get to week one, conference realignment will have set in. It'll now be the official time for the 12-team college football playoff. But there's also new things that have been introduced that not a lot of people talk about. But there's still a lot of things that I wonder going into this college football season. Granted, there's so much time, but I have three main things that have kind of been bothering me that I hope to have answers to when the season gets here and throughout the season as the season goes on. So let's start off with this. Who will be the new face, the new big kids on the block in the Big 12? Oklahoma and Texas are gone to the SEC. There are so many questions within that with who's going to hold on, who's going to take the crown, who will be the new king of the Big 12. And the odds might surprise you. FanDuel and any sports betting odds usually have Utah at number one with Cam Rising coming back. But can Utah stay healthy? That's always been the question. Oklahoma State was just in the Big 12 conversation last season, losing to Texas. Can they do it again? But then you have these other questions of Kansas State. Will they be able to fight it? And will they be able to take the crown? TCU has had a moment where they took the crown. Will we have a big kid on the block? Baylor's had success in the past, but the big kid on the block and the new kids on the block, like Utah, like Colorado, like Arizona, maybe not Arizona State at the moment, they all have a chance. The Big 12, for the first time in years, has been open 14 times in the last 20 years. Oklahoma has been the Big 12 champion. Texas has won it 4 times in the last 20 years. So with those two teams gone, who is prime to be the new face of the Big 12? Another thing that's coming to college football that has changed everything is the introduction of new technology, new rules. We are all aware of the Michigan cheating scandal last year, and they ended up hoisting a national championship trophy, implemented some new rules. First and foremost, the 2 minute drill has now probably become more important than ever with the introduction of the 2 minute warning. We'll get the 2 minute warning similar to the NFL method, second quarter, fourth quarter. But also, that's not the only thing new. We also have helmet comms, the same thing similar to the NFL that the NFL has adopted with the green dot. Quarterbacks and linebackers will have the green dot on their helmet and will be able to hear the helmet call up until maybe the final 10 seconds of a play clock. So how will that change the game? Will there be less tempo that we're so accustomed to seeing in our college football world? Teams like Oregon, Miami, Florida State, Georgia, Clemson, those type of teams who lean heavy on a no huddle offense. Will we start to see things slow down? For teams that usually go in the huddle, like Michigan, Alabama, um, the Dukes of the world, the Kentuckys, those slower paced huddle made teams that ground and pound, will that be more beneficial? And even on the defense, how will that help everyone else? The linebacker now has more calls. Will it be easier to play catch up and get your matchups together as a coach? Will we see overcoaching to these guys who've never had a green dot on their helmet before? Where we see quarterbacks development come in? How fast will coaches lean on that? Also, new technology again, the tablets. So instead of getting pictures and waiting till halftime to make those adjustments, we'll now see faster in-game adjustments just like that, similar to the NFL. This is all going towards a NFL-based product. And I, for one, am very excited to see it. So how will it shape? Will everything slow down or will everything pick up? Will competition increase or will it decrease? How is the gap between the best team and the worst team start to look now with everyone being on an equal playing field? The one thing I'm probably going to miss the most is our colorful jersey guys or our colorful sweatshirts of people trying to distract the opposing team. That's probably the biggest thing I'm going to miss. But last thing that I'm very interested about is how will the college football playoff committee grade a 12-team college football playoff? 1 through 4 was already difficult enough, but how will we go through it finding the 12 best teams? Florida State, we know last year, in most people's opinions, were screwed out of a job. They were screwed into being a team that could contend for a national championship. But now we're in a new method. 12 teams. The College Football Playoff Committee has adopted a 5+7 model. The 4 power conferences will get a guaranteed bye, leaving one of the group of 5 champions to be the first team that's also guaranteed that fifth spot, but will have to play in that wild card. and then a 7 at large, which means the 7 best teams after that will get their shot. How will the CFP committee grade the rest of those 7 teams? How do you grade the best 5 through 12? What is the difference? How many ACC teams will we see in there? How many SEC teams will we see in there? How many Big Ten teams? So on and so forth. Will the SEC or the Big Ten get majority of a bump because their strength of schedule? Will you look at it and go a 9-3 Tennessee team over a 10-2 Miami? Is that way better because they play in the SEC? Will we see some bias among those two power conferences amongst the Power Four? How do you discover your best group of 5 champion? Is it through just having to find who's better? Is it Tulsa? Is it Tulane? Will it be someone like Liberty who got to play in the New Year's Six Bowl last year? How do you find that group of 5 champion? Also, how does this affect the independent circuit? Notre Dame is usually looked at as a power team as in an independent league. Will their strength of schedule matter a little bit more? Will their wins and losses mean a lot more versus a team that's in a power four conference? There's so many things that's going on that I'm pretty sure we'll get the answer to it as the season gets close, during the season, and the end of the season. But there's so many things about college football that's going to look exciting, and we're only 1 month away. You guys let me know, what are some things that you are interested in when we get down to the college football season? How will things look for you? What's something that you're excited about? We have coaches under pressure, new faces in new places, and some rivalries that either going to be renewed or going to be created in this new conference realignment. You guys let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys at the next one.